Is that a monkey? Like, is that a monkey here? Why did that sound like a monkey? Anywho. Well, there you go. So welcome back, everybody. So this morning we've already been up and at 'em. So we put wood chips in here with the chickens, because that's kind of the concept of building that compost out in that area, is that we put wood chips down, and apparently it doesn't make it stink as bad, because it does stink a little bit when I put at least the pig poop in it. The goat poop doesn't smell bad when it goes in there, but it's a pretty day. We're gonna knock out these animal chores real quick, and then we're gonna get into some more work today, as always, but here we go. Gonna let them out. Baby girl, I think they want to eat. You got that, or you want me to carry that bucket? Are you sure? Is everybody coming? Do you have a good grip on your willy dog? Because they're going to try to eat it. Okay? All right, now step back. Step back.
Stop, Baby. Can you get that one to me? Thank you. Get the tiny one. Hurry, get the tiny one. Come on. I'll go on this side. You go on that.
All right, now it's time for my favorite thing, fencing. But I will say, so this is the last one. So as you can see behind me here, so we did all wooden posts, but after talking, what we've decided is that when we do some of the next sections, what we're actually gonna do is actually use T-posts, which cuts down on time, effort, energy. Because just like this line, like I could already had it done if I didn't have to dig all these post holes in it. So what'll have to happen is, or what will happen is, on the next section on the other side of this field, which will be way over there with a gate on it, that we'll do, it'll just be 3 posts in the ground, 2 for my pole down here, 1 for my pole down here, put those in concrete, and then the rest of the run will be T-posts, which all I gotta do is hammer those into the ground and it's done. So it takes like a fraction of the time, instead of digging a hole, putting the post in, tamping it down, being frustrated because it won't tamp down right. So I'm pretty excited that we've made that decision, and I think that's what we're gonna do when we get on the front field. And I think we've kind of decided too that we're gonna kind of continue on the fencing adventure and keep doing fencing, because at the end of the day, infrastructure is kind of one of the more important things on the farm, and being able to get these animals on different pastures and being able to rotate them through. It also cut down our hay consumption, which is fairly high. We probably go through a bale to a bale and a half a week, But I'm pretty excited to get this fence stretched because I think, and we'll see in a few minutes, that I actually figured out how to strip the wire and actually wrap it correctly now. We shall see if my skills and my YouTubiness is going to pay off or not. But I'm hoping that I learned correctly how to do it, and I can do it on this fence and actually pull this thing correctly. And I'm going to pull the end differently. You guys will see. I'll actually show you all that, because this is going to be different than the other fencing videos that I did, but similar to like how I started in the beginning, and then I started getting frustrated by like not being able to get to work. But anywho, yada yada yada, we're gonna get it on this fence. Like I said, super excited. Hopefully it works. All right, so we are wave of the future here on the farm now, because this is our new setup now. We bought a couple of these 10x10 easy ups. So what's nice is now when I'm working, it can be in a nice cool shade, and it is probably, I would say, 20-ish degrees cooler underneath this right now. So now what I can do is I can actually work on getting my fence attached, my cross brace up, and everything else. So one thing I will not be doing, and this is only because I think I messed up the other fence and I'm not worried about it at this point, because I figure it'll pull against itself at this point, is that on my H braces on my corners, I should have been running wire on them to hold them tighter. So in the future, that's what I'm going to do. But now my concept is I'm like, well, this one's pretty solid. This one I think it has concrete in it, and it also was against a rock, so like it's not going anywhere. But future state is my H brace will actually have a line that would run from, so since I'm pulling this way, I would go from the top, or no, sorry, bottom of this one to the top of my next post. So when it pulls the top, it actually keeps it, and it basically makes it pull the bottom of this one, so it's like pushes the whole H brace that way, so it can't actually go anywhere. But I'm thinking, since I didn't brace these, that I'm not going to do that this time. It may be a mistake, but at this point, one more run of fence that's wrong isn't going to kill me. So So we got the fence rolled all the way down to the end. I didn't really need to take it all the way to the end, but I was like, I'm going, I might as well go and hit all the way at the end. So now what we're gonna do is the key to how you make the end of the fence work correctly. The first couple times I did it, I couldn't get the knots to loosen up. But just so you guys know, this is the brand of fence I am using. I use the Red brand sheep and goat fence 4x4s, and this is woven wire fencing. So where I was messing up before is actually with, where I was messing up before is I was cutting the wire right near the knot. And I will show you. Let's just turn you around. We'll just go ahead and get into this. So hopefully you guys can see this, because I know the sun is potentially going to mess up my thing. So what I was doing before is I was cutting like right here against this knot. So this is your knot, which I cheated and I tried one already to see how it would work, and I already got this one loose, so it makes me really excited that I got that loose already. So what you're actually supposed to do is, like, all these knots need to be undone, and then this wire here will just come off. Because as you can see, I don't know, I'll get in really close, maybe you can see it. I don't know if it's going to focus. It's not going to focus on it. Anywho, this is a piece of wire that comes up, over, and around, and that's all this piece of wire is. And what I did before was I cut here, and I couldn't get these to come off, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I just put the fence up with these knots on it. Well, the problem was these knots like caught on my fence when I was trying to stretch it, so it created friction that I didn't need. B, it also created all these little sharp points around it. So what we're gonna do is, since I already cheated on the first one, I'll show you guys on the second one. So we're gonna cut these about middle on each one. show you with this one. This one should just come right off. Yeah, see how that one just came right off? What we'll do is we'll cut middles, right? Because that'll give me plenty of a nice big piece of wire so I don't lose it, which is this one loose. Okay. I might have to set up the tripod to show you guys this. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our fencing pliers and actually just twist this. And the first one's probably gonna be the toughest. We're just gonna twist it a little to break that knot. And then as you can see here, the knot just comes right off in my hand. So then it gives you two little pieces. Obviously you wanna make sure you do not lose these pieces. But yeah, we're gonna have to do, with this wire, there are a lot of them. So what I'm gonna do is, since these are all 4x4, I am gonna do the first probably 4, because that'll give me 16 inches of wire to wrap around my post. I might actually do 5 on the first post, just so I can actually see how much I need, because what you do is you have like, I don't remember what they call it, but you tie an end knot on the end that you're tying down here, or a dead knot or something, I forget what it's called. But you tie your knot on the end and you have enough, and when you wiggle it, when this wire breaks, it doesn't break sharp. But when you cut it, you actually get a sharp edge when you cut this wire. So I'm hoping to have enough that I can wrap it, and then you just basically move it a bunch of times and it breaks right off, and you wrap it around a few times with after your end knot, and then what we'll do is we'll pull the other way. What this allows the fence to do, it actually allows that fence to kind of move, and you pull the tension on the fence, not on the staples that I was doing before, which was wrong. It was all wrong. But that's what this is all about. It's all about learning. So I'm going to continue to work on this. This is going to take a little bit of time to get all these knots off and all the stuff, which I meant to bring a container up here so I could just throw them in the container and then dispose of them later. So I'm going to go grab a container, and then I'll get to cutting these knots. All right, so hopefully you guys can kind of see. So don't worry about this one. The top ones are really hard because that wire is a lot thicker than these middle ones. But what I did is I ended up having to pull the fence this way some too. So what we're gonna do is, now that we got these all clear, I actually had to clear 2 more out just because I wanted some more slack, which I almost felt like I could have pulled some more out, but the problem was I could have probably taken this around, got more area, but it is what it is at this point. So what you're gonna do is, after you get your little, I don't know, I'm gonna call it a pigtail, because that's what you call an electric. You're gonna take your pigtail, and they say you go over top of your guide wire, and then you're gonna basically keep it tight and basically S it up through. Okay, so you're gonna S it across, then you're gonna push it across the top of your wire, right? So you're gonna knot it, you have basically a knot, and then you're gonna come up and under. So now, you'll come around a couple more times. Ooh, I did not get that very tight. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. So you're gonna wrap it around a few times, and then supposedly you just turn it, but mine doesn't like to work that way. Mine just gets all screwed up. I don't understand how you break it. I'm still figuring that part out, but supposedly you're supposed to have like this crank handle, right? And you just turn it the opposite way. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. So you have like this crank handle, and you're like, whip, 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 whip. Oh, you just turn it the opposite way. I'm an idiot. Okay, I get it. So since I wrap this way, I turn back into my fence. So then you have this pretty little slip knot, and when you break these off, it actually isn't sharp. So it actually isn't sharp at all. I know you can't see, well, I have holes in my glove, but see, it's not sharp at all, which is really cool, especially for like having kids around. Obviously, ignore this guy up here. that wire was like super thick and really hard, and I was pulling tension on this and everything else. But that's how they should look. So it's start on top, come up through the middle, around back over yourself, then wrap it a few times, and then done. And that's a slip knot for woven wire fence. I'm gonna keep working down through here. I got about 5 or 6 more to go, and then we'll pull the fence back the other way. All right, so also, I don't know if you guys saw, I put a board down here. I saw another guy do this, so then your bottom doesn't dig into the ground and get stuck and cause a bunch of issues and pull your top too tight, blah, 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 blah. Anywho, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out all our vertical rungs, starting with about right here, even with the post. We'll take all those out, and then we'll have a lot more to wrap on this one. I probably overshot it. If I wasn't pulling on this, like I said, I would have left the whole roll hooked up and actually pulled, and then I would know more closely like where I could actually cut everything from. But since I had to cut this off, I might as well just use as much as I can of it and wrap it around, and then I have extra, like, because it was a little bit tight with some of those other pieces to actually use them. One thing that really sucks is I realized I left my fencing tools over on the other side, so I'm gonna have to walk all the way around because there's no access from this side unless I figure out. I might be able to actually climb over. I might be able to climb over. If I can climb over that, it's gonna be a lot easier, and then I can just go right there. Like I said, I'm gonna cut all these verticals, and then what I'll do is I'll release these one at a time by cutting them and then tying them in. So the other ones theoretically should keep tension while I'm tying that other one in. And once I get one tied in, then I'll go on to the next one, so on and so forth. And I'll save the bottom and the top for last because those are the most difficult. And then, and I really hope I'm not screwing this up, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna staple in everything, because my concept is that I know I'm gonna lose tension on this when I tie in. So I'm worried if I staple everything, when I go to tie in, I'm gonna lose tension and it's just gonna be right here. Instead of, if I lose tension and it's the whole way, it's not going to be as noticeable as if I lose tension within the last 8 feet. So I'm going to get working on that, and I'll give you guys a status update here in a few minutes. All right, so status update. It worked. My last knot, I still got to figure that one out. I don't know how to do that one, but this is good. I lost some tension out of the fence when I let it go. I would say word of advice is, when you're down to your last 2, just release your tension, because I just cut it and then of course it like boop, flipped on me. But for the most part, really good. I'm pretty happy with it, and also like knocked it over when I did that. But really good tension for the most part. I'm gonna start nailing. I'm kind of losing daylight, and we were gonna head out for a bit, and I'm hot and sweaty and it's just it's muggy. But I'm gonna nail down through here. Once I get this nailed down, it's done. I'll put in my T-posts later, which will go down through here. That's not a big deal, because all I'll do is I'll have her hold the fence, and we'll put the T-posts in to help it stand up down through this section. I'm gonna start here, just work my way down that way, knock them in, and that'll be about all I get back. That's all I'm gonna get done for today. And then I'll be back tomorrow. There's a few little projects here and there. Sorry, I'm out of breath. A few little projects here and there that we got to get done, and then set up for farm camp, the last one. So I'm gonna nail these in, and then go inside. It's hot. Take a shower. Oh, worth the money. Worth the money for the spring loaded. at all this stuff you need. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Success. That's all I'm gonna get done for this weekend as far as interesting chores. I do have some mowing and weed eating and stuff to do, but you guys don't want to see that, trust me. You probably do it yourself. So as always, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out if you guys do that, and I always appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully we get some more fence videos. Kind of the next step will be getting this next one in, which would be really cool. And then we'll actually have 2 fields to rotate between. And I think kind of the plan right now is to keep going through fencing and try to knock out some more fencing as this year goes on. Especially once it cools off and it'll be a little bit easier to work in the afternoons and evenings. As always, I'll see you guys next time.